It's easy to understand Tasty Bite. All it requires is for you to look at the mission statement of the company, and the whole company comes into focus. And we've taken the mission statement and divided them up into four parts. There's a purpose, there's a core purpose. Why does the company exist? Second, what do? What's the scope of our business? Third, how do we do it? Why are we different from everybody else? And finally, what is the environment in which we commit ourselves to work? So these are the four things that once we focus on these four, it's very easy to understand the soul of the company. So there's a purpose in the company, and we say we want to be socially responsible and provide consumer delight. We don't see this as a fork in the road where we choose one versus the other. We see them coexisting. That everything we do is intrinsically responsible, at the same time guaranteeing a certain consumer delight. So that's the purpose. The scope, what do? We manufacture and market natural, convenient, specialty foods and food intermediates. How are we different from anybody else? Or what is our promise to our consumers? We promise three things: great taste, good value, and real convenience. All this we hope to achieve in an environment that is knowledge-driven, energetic, and fun. So this is our mission statement that everybody has internalized fully. This is also our vision statement. This is also our strategy statement. So this drives our thinking, this drives our investment, this drives product development. This very simply describes the soul of the company. Let me talk about two separate pieces now. Let's talk about the social responsibility piece and how it blends into what we do. Fundamentally, we have three parts to what we call a value ecosystem. I think of it as a tree with three branches. One is a branch called the company, which is how do we treat each other as employees. Second, the consumer. How do we react with our consumers? And the third is the community in which we live. How do we deal with the community? And I think of the value ecosystem of the company as a tree with these three branches, and each branch has a set of leaves. Let's talk about the community specifically. It has 5 leaves: water conservation, energy, agriculture, adult literacy and education, and disaster relief. These 5 are intrinsic core values that define our engagement with the community. So for instance, almost 80% of the steam we generate in the factory is generated from renewable resources using vegetable waste, sugarcane briquettes. We have a water recycling program that we recycle almost 400,000 liters of water a day. You know, the food is a prodigious consumer of water. The food industry is a prodigious consumer of water. And our factory happens to be in a rain shadow area. So it's very important for us to engage in such a way that we have programs that recycle water. So we've begun to recycle water today. Out of 1 million liters of water that we use every day, we almost recycle 400,000 liters. We also have a program for outreach for farmers. And we depend on the farmers, both from our own farm and in our neighborhood farms, to provide us the raw materials that go into making Tasty Bite. So we have a large program with our farmers, and there is a very close relationship, and that is why we're able to get the quality of the raw materials in terms of our vegetables in Tasty Bite. We also have a big program for adult literacy, which I won't talk much about, and disaster relief wherever there is, because of the nature of the pouch. And it's perfect for areas of disaster, including earthquakes or including, a tsunami or whatever. Part of the value system in the company is really driven by the way we create an environment for each of us to work. The 3 words we use is knowledge-driven, energetic, and fun. And we believe that every employee who comes in adds to this environment which is knowledge-driven. There is a lot of domain expertise in each one of our functions, whether it happens to be in engineering, in utilities, in generating steam, or in refrigeration, or in even creating cash flow cycles, or in positioning, marketing, or in food chemistry, food microbiology, food nutrition. There's a lot of domain expertise. Knowledge-driven environment is very, very important, and that's where we all thrive, and we almost feel that we come into work because of the knowledge that everybody else, or our co-workers, actually brings to the office every day. The second is the place is buzzing, and you will see that in any part of the company when you come in. There's very little hierarchy, there's very little formalism. This is a high energy place, and this is reflected both in the attitude of the people and the way things get done. the word we often use is energy and velocity. We often do things quickly, and we get so used to doing things quickly that we make fewer mistakes every time. We get up, dust ourselves, and move forward. We tend to cover a greater distance before we fall again. But that's the nature of being energetic. And finally, all this, we always tell people, don't do anything if it isn't fun. It is not a drudgery. You just come in here because it's fun. You come in here because of other people. Talent attracts talent. Fun attracts fun. People come in here not because they make a living. Of course they can make a living. They come in here because it's fun. They come in here because of the other people. And the other people attract them only because being there is fun. So being knowledge-driven, energetic and fun is also describing the soul, or the mission, or the vision, or even the strategy of the company.